Gonna hold me tight. You'll be in my arms forever.
You're listening to What's the Deal, a podcast that's here to talk about the news, current events, and pop culture.
Tremendous impact.
And it's coming at you straight and unfiltered.
Believe me, folks.
I did not have sexual relations with that woman.
So kick back with your hosts, Josh and Joel, while they discuss on What's the Deal.
Oh, it's classic.
That's my favorite.
What's the deal, fuckers? This is episode 1. Joel,
Season
Josh here.
1.
Producer Elio Miglio, the Mighty Duckman. This is basically be us talking about everything. Politics, pop culture, viral videos.
Well, he likes to hear himself, so it's going to be mainly him speaking, me hopping in every once in a while.
Which is ironic because this started off without me. It was actually you two.
I know. He kind of invited himself. You know that one friend? It's always like, so what are you guys doing tonight? Oh, we're going to go over here. Oh, can I come? And they're like, I guess.
That's me.
Yeah.
That's me.
I guess.
Well, I mean, we tried this actually last week, and it was kind of a fail. Kind of.
A new SCOTUS, a daring rescue, and you can't be recording, Joel. I gotta repeat this again. Earlier this week, President Trump made his election for Anthony Kennedy's replacement on the Supreme Court when Justice... It seemed like the finale of The Bachelorette. No. I'm sorry, you're scrolling way too fast. I'm gonna read it down, get a deal, and then read it again. I can't redo this right now.
I understand.
Not really. I don't fail. I just succeed at different levels, and I just didn't succeed at the optimal level. Just call me LeBron in 2012.
LeBron's not going to be winning.
That's the year he lost, right?
LeBron's not going to be winning shit for probably the rest of his career.
I concur. The only thing he's going to be winning is millions of dollars and taxed half of it in LA.
He's going to get screwed with state tax, but I mean...
What I'm trying to say is I'm the LeBron of the podcast industry. You just haven't heard of me yet. The bum.
I'll take KD.
No.
I mean... Basically, this kind of started off us three, right? We actually wanted to get our cousin Danny involved, but he kind of wants to be like a guest.
Yeah, he'll be like Udonis Haslem. Every once in a while he plays.
Yeah, putting in 5 minutes.
I'll be LeBron. You could be, I guess, Wade, and Ellie will be Chris Bosh because he's the ugliest. I mean, I'm playing. He's the most handsome.
I can't take Wade. I got good knees.
Gay.
Gay. No homo. No, but what's the deal is basically just going to be us sharing our thoughts, our relatively semi-informed thoughts, I'd say.
Yeah. Let's skip a little bit to Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez and how... how do I say this? Dumb she kind of sounds sometimes with certain topics. Having an international relations bachelor's, which I am pursuing, and a economics major, and she's a socialist, so I think that's
she's
just
around your age.
irony.
I want to say.
Yeah.
I want to say she's maybe like a year or two older than you, so you guys are pretty similar.
What are you trying to say? No, I think she's 3 years. But it's so funny how you have a democratic socialist who has a bachelor's in economics. It's like having a fat PE teacher. It's like, what is this?
Jeez.
Yeah.
You're not wrong.
It's irony.
Well, we both had a fat PE teacher.
I think everyone has a fat PE teacher.
Yeah.
I think you start in PE real strong and you realize I'm a PE coach, and then you just get fat.
Don't give a fuck.
You just get fat. This is not a diss to any PE teachers. That's actually my favorite subject, and I loved them all. But man, they really let themselves go.
Oh yeah.
We probably all will. But going back to Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, I'm surprised I said that right twice.
Yeah, it's the longest name.
I don't know if she's gonna win in New York. She does have a fighting chance. The whole issue is that they are trying to implement these socialistic programs that are succeeding in New Zealand and Sweden and Netherlands and a small portion of those countries, but then try to bring it into New York City, which is one of the biggest, if not the biggest money influencer in the United States.
I mean, I'm not, to steal her line, I'm not the expert as far as when it comes to socialism. I am trying to learn more on the topic, but from what I was reading, especially those Nordic countries that they're trying to emulate as far as socialistic policy, a lot of them still capitalize on free market systems. They just redistribute it in a socialistic approach. So they're trying to double dip. I mean, in a sense, they're saying, okay, capitalism is bad. We don't like free markets. Big corporations, all of that. But what they're doing in reality is they're just riding the coattails of all these entrepreneurs and businesses and corporations, letting them run 100%. This free market, and then at the end of the day, I want my cut. So I'm gonna tax you heavy. I'm gonna take away a lot of the back end profits. So it's not really true socialism. It's not like you're taking advantage of a system and you're just cherry picking what you want. So I mean, one of the quotes that she said when it come on in that firing line interview, which I watched, which by the way, great job by Margaret Hoover hosting that interview.
Asking some follow-up questions that were really great.
Follow-up questions. One of the ones that she asked was about unemployment. I think she asked Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez what she thought of the unemployment rates that's been dropping to 4%, sub 4% at times.
Lowest in how many decades? Since 2000, I think. I
know it's been on a steady lowering. Obviously, there was a crazy. It jumped up during the recession, and it's been lowering ever since. So
lowest black unemployment, lowest Hispanic unemployment, lowest women unemployment. So I mean, I guess you could say Trump's doing a pretty good job with unemployment.
Yeah, he's definitely. That's definitely strong suit as far as working with the economy for sure. Not the rhetoric, but
what'd she say? Sorry.
What she said on unemployment was, she said unemployment is low because everyone has 2 jobs. That unemployment is low because people are working 60, 70, 80 hours a week and can barely feed their family. So let's take a second to dive in on that. Unemployment is low because everyone has 2 jobs.
How does that work? I don't know. How does that math work? You carry the 2?
No, that makes no sense. I mean, the Department of Labor Statistics, they track unemployment specifically for those 2 variables. They'll say, okay, these people have a full-time job. There's this sector of people that have a full-time and a part-time job. These people only have a part-time job. So they know how to,
differentiate.
And then they'll also differentiate in terms of hours worked. How many people work your standard 40 hours a week, then overtime 60, 70. So that's a flat out just lie. That's just not how it works, which was kind of funny because you mentioned she has
an economics degree.
She also has an international relations degree, and she dove in on the topic of the Israeli-Palestinian conflict, where Margaret Hoover asked her, now that she's entering the national spotlight and could be maybe making a trip out to Washington, nobody really knows her stance on foreign policy, going on. So she asked her about the Israeli-Palestinian conflict because Alexandria has some pretty strong comments on Twitter about it. So in response, Alexandria, I keep getting that name wrong.
Just say Cortez. Miss Cortez.
Yeah, Cortez.
Miss Cortez. I mean, she's not married, right?
I don't think so. She does look kind of, side note, she kind of looks like Cusco from Emperor's New Groove.
Whoa.
I think Elliot will pull that up during the editing.
Oh, yeah.
But I want to say,
I can kind of see it.
She definitely has it.
So who's Kronk?
Who's Kronk?
Hey, Miss Cortez. Hey. Is this pretty good, guys? I don't know. You tell me.
Mission accomplished.
I can't do the accents. I was just talking to Elio before that. I got to work on my accents if we're going to be doing this because I
kind of sound like Joe from Family Guy.
Awful.
It's the same guy.
She definitely has a Cusco. There's also another meme of hers where, did you see that meme of the triggered, I want to say it was a triggered liberal in like the festival, and she's like looking like this, like with her teeth out, crazy eyes, and they put her underneath it. And it's like, if you don't vote for my sister, we're gonna protest. And it's just Alexandria in the bottom, like with crazy eyes too. I think we'll have to pull up that meme.
So it's like, it's the meme, or is it meme or meme? Because all the old people like to say meme. It's meme, right? We're gonna say meme.
I'd say meme. I'd call for a poll, but I want to say we may have 3 viewers. So
all right,
best to our 3.
3 viewers: mom, dad, and abuela.
Yeah.
Let us know what it is: meme or meme.
Meme or meme.
Okay.
Well, abuela could vote like 5 times because she keeps making a new Facebook every month,
and she makes like 6 different Gmail accounts.
She forgets her password and she just opens a new one.
Old people. It's okay. We love them anyways.
No, back to the regular schedule programming. Alexandria Cortez's take on the Israeli-Palestinian conflict on the interview, she said to clarify her tweet, which I don't have it pulled up here. We could try to pull it up. She tried clarifying it by saying what she meant is that the settlements that are increasing in some of these areas and places where Palestinians are experiencing difficulty in access to their housing. So she's saying that Palestinians are experiencing difficulty in access to their housing. And then she followed that up when Margaret Hoover asked her to elaborate by saying, I'm not the expert on geopolitics on this issue.
Yeah.
So I'll preface by saying I'm not either.
Yeah.
I actually was looking into it yesterday. I wanted to learn more about it, but that just sounded wrong off the bat, which you had people from all sides of the aisle, all sides of media, CNN, MSNBC, everybody.
Fake news.
Just, ripping into it basically. So I actually want to follow up and ask you, since you are pursuing an international relations degree, do they talk about geopolitics? Like, do they cover this type of current events?
I mean, 100%. Once you get more towards the upper level classes, it's definitely a requirement. The issue is that geopolitics is literally worldwide, if you think about it, and you're not going to be able to cover everything. And I will defend Ms. Cortez in the sense that you will not know everything about everything, to put it simply. But that being said, if you don't know everything about everything, then you shouldn't have such demeaning comments or heart-filled comments putting down a certain country or situation if you don't know it entirely or are very educated on it. So when it comes down to the Israeli-Palestinian conflict, yeah, it's definitely, I mean, at least me at FIU, and I'm sure a lot of universities around the United States, it's definitely talked about because it is the main topic of today. I want to say that with Russia and Crimea is another one. The Italian elections recently was a big one. Brexit is a big one. A lot of these social programs that are going around in Europe are things that are being talked about. But I mean, if she graduated, within the last, I want to say 5 to 8 years, for sure, she would have to have had at least some knowledge or deep conversations if she got an international relations degree. But maybe I'm wrong, but I would think so, because this is actually, how long has the Palestinian-Israeli conflict been going on? Since like Moses?
Well, yeah. I mean, Israel's been trying to claim their land is rightfully theirs for thousands of years, going back to Bible days. From what I read yesterday, in recent history, it's been a thing since like the 1800s, where they've been going back and forth. And then it started to escalate during the World Wars, especially after World War II is where it really started popping off.
Like when Israel got in the 40s, they established themselves as a nation. In the 60s, Palestine, I don't remember what year, but
it really, like, I want to say it was like the full-blown conflict kind of started right after World War II. I want to say it's like 48, something like that, 49. You could pull that up. But then there's so much information. I was trying to like look into it, and it's a lot to dive into, but especially in an issue so complicated and so complex with different sides, and you can't just blurt out things. And the original tweet that kind of started her down this road of putting her foot in her mouth was basically, she tweeted in response to she shared a headline that said a number of Palestinians killed by Israeli forces has gone up to 37 according to Palestinian ministry. This was in May of this year. So she retweeted it and said, "This is a massacre. I hope my peers have the moral courage to call it such. No state or entity is absolved of mass shootings or of protesters. There's no justification. Palestinian people deserve basic human dignity as anyone else. Democrats can't be silent about this anymore." I remember...
Are Democrats really silent ever?
No. No. I mean, they just have short-term memory loss or ADHD, a combination of both.
Squirrel.
Yeah, they'll just switch.
Like Doug from Up, if you guys don't know the joke.
I was listening to Ben Shapiro, and it's funny. He was saying, we appointed Kavanaugh as a Supreme Court justice like not even 2 weeks ago, and that feels like 2 months ago. The amount of how fast the news cycle moves. But I kind of remember when this was going on in May. I didn't know much about it. I know there was two sides of the story. I think there was they were approaching the border, and they said I think the Palestinians somebody was claiming the Palestinians were inciting the violence and throwing stones. People said the Israelis were shooting at them first. So obviously there's a lot of conflicting stories, especially with the group Hamas at large.
Yeah.
But I don't know enough to comment on that. So for her, who was doing, objectively, she was doing a great job, coming out of nowhere and winning her district in New York, to then jump on a foreign scale type of issue like this, somebody in her camp should have warned her.
Yeah, and it's kind of like training. When ball players, whatever sport it is, they go through rookie training. And they teach you how to deal with the media. I think that she is learning right now, and a couple years down the road, they'll forget this, and she'll be a crisp politician with a good BS and BS, and they'll be able to kind of tell her, hey, stay away from this, learn how to bounce around topics, because that is one thing that I gotta give these politicians. They just know how to answer without answering a question. Never seen it. Never. They must be the best cheaters. Where were you? You see, I was did you see what happened in the ball game over there? It's like, what? I just asked you where you were. No, yeah, but the Yankees, it was 3-2, and they hit a grand salami, and then they forget.
For all the things that Trump people rip on his rhetoric, he does a great job of taking on a ride in his conversations. He'd be like, we're the best. I can't do impressions. I want to try.
Yeah.
I can't do impressions.
We're the best.
There you go.
We're the best of the best. There's no one bester than us. We're the bestest.
But that's what he does, and he learned. But he has such a his personality is so polarizing, good, bad, or indifferent, that he would take you on a ride in his conversations, in his rallies. But staying abroad, I actually shared this information yesterday out of nowhere with a good friend of ours. I didn't even know Google was hit with a $5.1 billion fine by the EU.
Wow, so that's like $50 for us.
Yeah, pretty much. It was actually a record fine, and it was in regards to abusing its power in the mobile phone market, and the EU ordered the company to alter its practices. So, long story short,
what did they do? Google
for years has been offering their operating system for free.
Okay.
Like the Android is their operating system.
So what is wrong with that?
Though what they're complaining about is, in return for offering a free operating system to like Samsung, to not the data per se, like the big time players, Samsung, there's a couple other ones in
LG,
Europe that I don't even know.
Yeah.
They require that those phone makers pre-install their apps. So
that's so annoying. Half your gigabytes is gone.
You have the whole Google folder. You buy
the 60 gigabyte phone and
Google
you have like
Music,
45
Google Play, and you can't delete it, or if you try to disable it, like fucks up your phone.
Yeah.
So that was the whole thing, that you had a bunch of browsers, as far as like search engines and other software makers in Europe that are Europe-based, complaining that, okay, now all these phones come pre-installed. So when you get a Samsung, we both are team Samsung.
Yeah.
You have
hashtag not basic bitches.
Yeah, we had the iPhone that was horrible. I liked the iPhone, but when I was like 12.
Yeah.
So the Samsung phones come out with...
We just lost half our followers. Sorry, Mom.
Oh, for sure. The Team Apple, Samsung debate could never end. You have... The Samsung phones come out with two of everything. You have Samsung Music, Google Music, Samsung Files, Google Drive. You have everything. So... And essentially, Google was smart in the sense of, okay, let's push an operating system. We're gonna and they'll use that as a way to just push their real bread makers, which is everything. They have Google Note, like the Note systems, everything.
I love it. I love Google. Everything's backed up to my Gmail.
I
lose my phone, log into my Gmail, boom, everything.
It's the most reliable backup.
My pictures, my videos, my my music, everything. It's saved.
No comment. But you have everything backed up. It's actually more reliable than the Verizon Cloud and all that crap. But the European Union has actually been trying to crack down on them big time. They, as I dove deeper into that rabbit hole, I saw that they already hit them with another fine, which is basically kind of towards Silicon Valley as a whole, but Google was kind of one of the main companies that they targeted, which was for privacy. So the European Union is trying to fight for people's privacy to be accessible by the consumer. So let's say that you go to this website or you go to this browser or whatever, and you say, I want to get all my data back.
Yeah.
the business, the provider, the software, whatever, has to give you a list of what data they have, and you have the right to delete it or to access it. It has to be clearly and safely maintained and accessible.
I don't see nothing too wrong with that.
Which that's what I thought.
Sounds like common sense.
I thought as well. It sounds pretty good in theory. The only thing I don't like is the way they're going about it. So they're trying to strong arm everybody else in the world to see their side and go about it.
You're talking about the European Union.
The European Union.
Because it's like the left. If you don't go by their way,
they are tying.
Sorry, lefties.
it's true though. I mean, obviously, you look what's happening in Europe. It's as far as attack on First Amendment, all that stuff like that. That's a whole another segment. But
that's for episode 47.
If we make it there, make it there, I think so. They're actually trying to unify all these countries into following their protocol by tying it to trade deals. So they say, okay, if you want to trade with us and you want to have contracts with us, you have to abide by our privacy laws. It's called General Data Protection Regulation. So they're like, I know Brazil came out in strong support saying that they're trying to work with Europe and imitating their laws. China last year passed their own that are similar. So they're strong arming all these countries and saying, if you don't coincide and you make similar laws like ours, we're going to restrict access to our 500 million plus consumers, which is like, it's kind of fucked up.
So then you are fighting for the consumer's rights by holding their rights as leverage.
Exactly.
Therefore, does the consumer really have rights? Boom, mind blown. You're welcome.
It's such a slippery slope.
Yeah.
And what actually highlighted here in our notes, one of the, they kind of threw in there subtly. I want to say it was the New York Times. Yeah, New York Times.
Fake news.
Article. We have to get that meme.
You are fake news.
Meme.
They threw it in here as far as the description. Officials here have also investigated tech companies' tax practices, called for closer scrutiny of artificial intelligence, and added strict measures requiring social media companies to more forcefully combat false news and extremist content.
Oh.
So you know what the end game is, right?
Yeah.
The end game
World
is
domination.
Controlling the First Amendment.
Boom.
What do? Oh, you gotta give us our privacy back. And you take a finger, you get the hand, you get the arm. Before you know it, you're done. You're up to your neck in quicksand. Yeah. The end game is to restrict rights. It's to I deem this false news. I deem this extremist content. What's extremist content in their eyes? It's whatever they deem extremist or offensive to them.
It's almost like no one's ever read 1984 by George Orwell, and we're just gonna, start handing it out like, our once a month winner is gonna get this book, so they actually know that there's someone who wrote this in the 40s and called this into existence.
$5.99 on Amazon. Already ordered it. I didn't know he had it. Definitely on the must-read list.
Yeah, I mean, I think everybody's either read that or Farm Animal.
Farm Animal. Which was that one?
It's a book that's most kids' summer reading list about farms, and it talks about more. I think it's like 200 pages. It's a good book.
Okay.
I don't want to spoil it.
Spoiler alert. But it's true. It's like this is going on in Europe, which is ironic because I want to say last week when Trump visited, he went to Europe. He sat down with, and I think her name is Mays from I want to get this right.
Willie Mays Hayes.
No, not Willie Mays. Is that guy still alive?
Willie Mays? Nah. That guy was around with Baby Ruth, not the candy bar.
I don't remember her name. Is it Mays Williams? No. Obviously, we don't have a research team yet, so this is we'll clarify later. But I know he met with some one of the governments out there. Can't remember to save the life of me. But long story short, while he was in Europe, they formed a massive Trump protest. I want to say it was like 12,000 people.
Actually, Willie Mays is still alive.
Willie Mays is still alive.
Holy crap! How old is he?
87.
He's 87. Wow. Well, there you go. Well,
is he still going at it?
Going at it in what sense?
Well, I'm talking about playing some boy.
Maybe we can have him on the podcast.
Back in my day.
I can't do fucking voices, bro. I gotta work on it. So they had this massive Trump protest where they flew like a big Trump baby.
Yeah, supposedly it was going to be the size of a blimp and ended up being the size of like a minivan.
Did you hear that they were trying to get it to come to New Jersey for one of Trump's rallies?
I'm all for it. It's cool. Yeah.
Oh, this guy that we follow, Joe Donnelly, he put a wager. I think he was offering like $5,000-$10,000 for whoever's in New Jersey that slashed the blimp or slashed the baby.
God forbid we would have done that about Hillary Clinton.
Oh no, it would have been outrage.
Yeah.
Outrage. But so here they had thousands of people protesting, crazy sound bites. I think I shared the video with you of the guy who was throwing the weakest punches I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
At a Trump mannequin.
Oh my God.
It was horrible.
I think a Cocker Spaniel licks harder than he punches.
No, and then the whole crowd is cheering like this guy's the UFC champion of the world.
And I love that they're cheering with that YAAAAS.
Yes.
Yes. It's like, gosh.
No. God forbid we assume
their gender.
not only that, but nobody taught that guy how to punch growing up.
No, my goodness. That's why we need more fathers in the homes, guys. Come on.
It was rough. It was rough to see. But you
can learn how to throw a punch or take them to like a sensei or something, Mr. Miyagi.
A sensei.
Yeah.
Well, we actually been talking about getting to MMA, starting it up. That'll be a nice little thing for us, so we don't end up on a viral video punching like a straight sissy.
Yeah. Sheesh.
Man, so like videos like that were surfacing everywhere in the protest. So what was funny is the very next day, I want to pull it up here. It was a pro-Trump protest.
I know that
pro-Trump rally
that the mayor Sadiq Khan went and shut down, right?
Yeah, he shut it down.
What a dick face. Excuse my language.
He shut it down.
What a turd. What a douchebag. What an ass hat. Oh, that's a curse word too.
I want to find the tweet. He basically one day to the other, he supported the anti-Trump protest, and he shut down the pro-Trump rally.
Because
from one day to the next.
Is how we say in Spanish, un sabingo.
Oh, for those of you who don't know Spanish, we'll definitely translate that for you.
Ironic twist.
Definitely translate that for you.
It was ironic what Khan said.
We're getting some word now from our producer. We don't have enough mics for him to chime in on a regular basis.
It was ironic what he said, what she said.
We'll provide you with our GoFundMe page if you guys feel inclined to just help us out. That'd be great.
Hashtag broke as heck.
If you could send us some money, that'll be great.
Yeah.
But
we'll actually work for it, not like some people we know.
Oh,
the left.
That was a burn.
You have the right to remain.
I mean, it all goes down to a lot of the stuff that we're seeing now in the United States they started off in London, in England, a lot of stuff in Europe where they're starting to take away people's rights, banning guns, banning freedom of speech, people getting arrested over Facebook posts.
Yeah,
all this started off in Europe. And
look what happened to what's the reporter's name? The reporter,
oh yes.
Now mind you, he's a little bit extreme, but
yeah, he
was reporting outside of a courthouse, guys. Reporting outside of a courthouse, and they arrested him, and now he's in prison for over a year. Like
Tommy Robinson.
Tommy Robinson. Oh my God! Like what has gone up with England? It's like, geez, if that happened here in the U.S., I think 95% of the media would be out of business because
insane.
The reason was because he would have influenced the trial, right? Mind you, then them arrested him. It was against child molesters too, a child rapist ring that he was reporting on, and they threw him in prison. This mayor's nuts.
I heard. I'm not too familiar with the actual nuances of the case. I want to say that he got arrested on some type of law that doesn't really get enforced that you can't film outside of a courthouse, and that's what he was doing.
Crazy.
But let's be real. If it was somebody on the left side of the media that was filming, a mainstream
100%.
type, idea, they won't get arrested.
Yeah.
So I just don't understand. I mean, listen, you could be left, right, libertarian, middle, whatever.
Bias on
Why get
both
arrested?
sides. There's just this pure bias.
It was about grooming gangs, like literally grooming gangs in schools. They're recruiting kids and starting these gangs grassroots style, like just from the bottom. And he's trying to make the community better, and you're gonna arrest him for it, like, and then just shut him out and silence him. It just doesn't make sense. Like, if the law was fine, you can't film outside the courthouse. Just tell him, all right, don't film outside the courthouse, but keep doing your thing. But they took advantage of. I don't want to make sure.
Well, he also wasn't a first-time offender. I think they took that into account. Well, arresting him in the first place, but he wasn't a first-time offender. I think the police did ask him to put it away, and he said, "I'm just filming." I mean, long story short, it's almost like you breaking the speed limit and them arresting you, and since you've broken it before, they send you in prison for like a year because you've broken the speed limit like 3 different times. Like, give me a break.
I would be fucked.
I think everyone in Miami would.
Definitely.
Like, have you guys ever seen the Pirates of the Caribbean with Captain? What's the evil captain in the first one? What's his name?
Pirates of the Caribbean.
Captain Barbosa.
That's his name?
He goes, yeah, Captain Barbosa, like Pirates of the Caribbean. He's like, the speed limit in Miami, they're not really rules. They're more like guidelines. That's what the speed limit is. It's like guidelines.
And especially like if there's a cop by you and you're like, okay, set the pace, guy.
All right.
That
and
guy,
I love how most Miami cops are the same thing. They're like
driving like 100.
Yeah,
and you're like, okay,
I'll go 85. Yeah. And everyone knows, all right, if we all go 80, they can't pull us over.
Of course.
Except for the red Mustang. They hate red sports cars. So I'm always, all right, I'm just going to go just as fast as this sports car in my Toyota RAV4. And I hate it because I look like a grandma, but I have yet to get pulled over.
It's so funny. I mean, that you mentioned going just behind the cop speed. It looks like the scene of in Fast and the Furious, the second one, where it was Ludacris, where they all go to the warehouse and they're trying to like,
they split up with the warehouse.
And they split up with the warehouse like freaking 200 cars.
Yeah.
That's what it looks like. You have like
the Palmetto with
the
traffic.
one lead in the front and then everybody behind just like hauling ass.
100%.
What's the cop gonna do? You can fucking slam on the brakes and then try to pull somebody over? Like, it's ridiculous. That's a lot of stuff about as far as Europe. We could bring it back to the States, which sounds really douchey. Does anybody say the States anymore?
I mean, it's douchey when you say America, because technically America, there's a North and a South one, and there's a lot of countries in both of them. Oh, and there's also a central one. Whoops, sorry, Ecuador, Costa Rica, Honduras.
I would probably barely pass or just fail a geography test if it's about Central America.
I'm pretty good with South and Central, North, a little bit of Europe, but once we get into like the Asia,
I don't even know where Asia ends. It starts and Europe begins, or
Russia and Asia are like pretty much sharing each other.
There's no line.
All the Stanis, there's like Kazakhstan, Kazakhstan, and
Russia's Asian.
Russia's Asia.
Oh no, Russia's so freaking wide. There's like 12 time zones, so it's like I'm sure they're both. They're in Europe and Asia.
Yeah.
I was looking up when we were talking about the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. I was looking at the map. I had no freaking idea. It's like there's like it's like East Africa, West Asia type of like where it was.
Yeah.
I had no idea.
Yeah.
And it's crazy how like obviously we're just starting this off.
People don't realize that. Hey, where is the Middle East?
No idea.
Europe.
That's like Who's a reporter that he takes to the streets and he interviews people and they just give the
I don't know, man.
responses.
I wish they would interview me because I want to test myself to see, am I really as dumb as these people? But honestly, I'm not, because some of these people are like, how many stars on American flag? 13 minus 50, goddamn 47.
I was thinking the same shit.
That 1-star video. Well, I think we're gonna put the link there just so you can see. And it's people from Miami too.
We'll have them throw it in, like embed it.
How many stars on the American flag?
Shit, we got 13 colonies, so 13 minus 50. 13 minus 50, goddamn 47. 47.
public
bottom.
school education has truly and utterly failed us.
No, there was one that I saw that it was a blank map, right, of the
And I
world.
said, name a country.
Name a country. They're like Africa. Like, no.
Yeah.
What was the other one?
You know, if they would have gone to the continent of Australia and said Australia,
It's technically
it's both. So
Nobody. Well, obviously, I'm sure they asked a lot of
edited it,
people.
yeah.
And they put the stupid ones. But out of the stupid people, none of them said United
except
States.
for the one 12-year-old boy who's still in school and got tested in geography class last week. He goes, that
Yeah.
one's
Oh, yeah.
Brazil, Peru, Argentina.
that kid went off.
Yeah.
Yeah, he went off somewhere.
Yeah, he literally just
he did
took
his
a
homework.
test.
He just finished.
Cheater.
That's like I remember my geography.
Wait 20 years when you haven't done this shit and do it again.
Yeah, I remember
Like
being a kid.
algebra. What's 2x minus plus 3y parentheses z? It's like, what?
21.
21.
21. It's like I remember being a kid like in 4th grade and just rattling off all 50 states, like where they were and everything. You can't do that shit now.
Yeah, or the capitals.
I mean, I probably get like 45.
Oklahoma City, Oklahoma.
You always forget about those random ones in the middle of the country that you just forget exist. Well,
Yeah.
you,
Topeka, Kansas. Bang.
well, you went to Missouri for like 3 months.
Yeah, Raleigh, middle of nowhere. Great experience, but gosh, I am a big city boy.
That's back when you had hair.
Back when I had hair. Yep.
I was on Instagram, like just
Not just chest and back hair.
looking at photos, and I saw there was a photo when you came back. You had some long, like
It was
down to the
luscious,
neck.
luscious and beautiful. Now it's all gone.
No, it's gone.
Yeah,
Totally gone.
that's why I got jacked and juicy, folks.
Oh, Jack, what was that? How's that go? Robert Frank.
Robert Frank 615. If you don't follow him, he's a pretty good follow. He's got
Jack
a great.
Juicy, soul to go, size the prize.
Source go, size the front. Man, like I don't know how he does it. My
he's
my
screaming.
voice is like
Screaming.
Gosh, I need water.
The best one was a clown one when he was when the whole clown. That's crazy. People were dressing up as clowns and chasing people with knives.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, come to Miami, fool.
You're gonna get
Half
dropped.
of the people here are strapped, and you're gonna get pew pew. Everybody go
That's
down.
Danny's wet dream.
Pew,
Our
pew.
cousin Danny.
Yeah.
That guy's waiting for a clown apocalypse, something like that.
Yeah, like zombies.
Yeah. Just waiting to just unload on them.
Okay.
Boom.
Get to
That's
the chopper.
nuts. I mean, people are freaking crazy. I mean, look at the CW, which I like some of their
What
shows.
does
that
the
are corny.
CW stand
No
for?
fucking idea.
Cable
No idea.
work.
Cable work? Is that?
No.
I can ask.
Totally made that up.
I can ask Danny out in LA. He probably knows what that shit means.
What are you gonna ask him? Ask Google.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, what does it stand for?
Continuous. That's not a continuous wave. That's probably for like
That's some
something
science shit.
scientific.
Yeah.
Physics.
Put the CW network.
So-
See what that says.
Google says CW stands for CBS and Warner Brothers. Okay, that's
Okay.
one. Or cyber warfare, or carbonated water, or karate. Wait, carrot, not karate, guys. Come on, karate.
I was gonna say karate. Wait, what?
Karate.
Cyber warfare. Yeah, that's gonna go down a dark hole.
Yeah.
But the CW.
World War III.
World War III. That's already happening. The CW announces new Batwoman series. It's an openly lesbian social justice warrior based character where she's basically
hashtag scissoring.
oh
It's
jeez.
basically a hybrid of CBS and Warner.
Oh,
basically,
that's what it is? It's a hybrid?
Yeah, hybrid.
I mean, I hope they don't show scissoring. It's like a PG. That's like a cable network. I don't think if it was on HBO, it'd be like some Game of Thrones type shit.
Yeah. So
But
if
I didn't know
they
Batwoman
have
was a thing.
Batwoman being a lesbian, who's gonna be the? Would the flame guy be, gay?
The flame.
Yeah, the flamer. what's the guy from Fantastic Four? What's his name? He's always like flame on. It's gonna be flame on.
Flame on.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. No, there's not a flame guy in.
Yeah,
Batman?
it's the flame guy in Fantastic Four.
Oh, the Fantastic Four. I'm talking about the Bat
Is
universe.
that DC or Marvel?
Fantastic Four. No, that is Marvel.
It's Marvel.
It is Marvel.
It's Marvel.
Okay.
No, this is DC universe. Like they're tying it into the whole Arrowverse,
Yeah.
which is Arrow,
I love Arrow.
Flash. Arrow's great.
Yeah.
They threw in like Flash
is
and they threw in
good.
all these other people, but they've been
And the name's the Human Torch, by the way.
Human
Human
Torch.
Torch. It was Chris Evans before he took over as Captain America.
Yeah, he was. That
It was
was
a solid movie.
I love how they gave him.
Was it Halle Berry?
Chris Evans went from the Flaming Torch to Captain America.
Yeah.
Ryan Reynolds went from
The Green
Lantern and a shitty Deadpool to the best Deadpool.
Oh, the ending of Deadpool 2, the end credits were amazing.
Yeah, yeah.
When we went back in time.
Hashtag spoiler.
Oh yeah, super spoiler.
If you
alert.
haven't seen it, you're a dumbass.
Super spoiler alert.
Go watch it.
But he basically went in time and there's like some type of, it's in the movie, some time travel shit, and he shot himself reading the Green Lantern script.
Yeah, that was amazing.
And then when the Deadpool with the Wolverine back like 10 years ago, he shot Deadpool in the side of the head. And
that's great.
A lot of fans, there's conspiracies, like theories. He looks at Wolverine and he says, "I'll come back for you." Yeah, I read that.
Nah.
So you know,
it's not gonna be Hugh Jackman.
It won't be Hugh
I don't
Jackman.
see another Wolverine. That's like. That is Wolverine.
It is.
That is Wolverine. The same way that I don't see
Ben Affleck
eventually
as fucking Batman.
No, that's
trash.
Batman's my favorite. Where is she? Where's Rachel? Sorry if I just
I
like
could do
totally ear fucked you guys.
I could do those voices.
Just peaked in my.
Yeah, it's like
Broke.
No,
Day one.
Christian Bale by far one of the best, if not the best Batmans. Heath Ledger the best
Phenomenal.
Joker. Ben Affleck terrible, but you know what's this guy's name? Robert Downey Jr. I can't see anybody else but him for Iron Man. But there's just some characters that you can't picture being anybody else. There could be a new Hulk. There's been already like 27 of them.
You have a lot. Well, I think Chris Evans just talks like his contract is ending. He doesn't want to renew it as Captain America. Robert Downey Jr. I think.
I mean, why wouldn't you? You're banking. Like, why do these guys do that? I don't want to be typecasted. You're making $50 million a movie. Get out of here.
It's like phase 3 or phase 4 already. You have to kill off people. You can't just keep adding superheroes.
Of course you can. We're still gonna go back to the movie. Look at Star Wars. How shitty they brought back this series.
When Queen Leia, whatever, was floating in fucking outer space and got hit with like the fucking Kyle, whatever from Dragon Ball Z, and like turned on, and she flew to the spaceship. What the fuck was that?
Yeah, no.
What the fuck was that?
Yeah.
She literally like, yeah, she was dead. And then like her eyes opened and she got hit with like some fucking divine force, and she started flying.
The head of the new Star Wars films is a woman. I don't remember her name. We're really bad with names today. Honestly, I'm really bad with names, period. If you ever see me in the street and you're like, "Hey, Josh, how's your day?" I do not know you if I don't call you by your first name.
We'll take applications for a research department.
Yeah.
Internship. It's going to have 0 accreditation, no connections with any like big time corporations. So it's
we
good as
do
your
bring
heart. Coladas, yeah.
It's called Cuban coffee for all our people who don't know what colada is.
Pretty much just out of the goodness of your heart. You know,
it's liquid crack.
Listen, I've had like 2 of those, two things of coffee today. I'm not gonna sleep.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna sleep.
Hashtag diarrhea.
But like going back to that CW thing, I never even heard of Batwoman. I think it was a new character in the 2000s. I think 06 they added to the comic book series, but it just feels kind of forced. I mean, they already have a bunch of the Arrow, the Flash, Legends of Tomorrow. They all have either lesbian or gay characters. So like I understand that okay, you might want like a main character to be the LGBTQ community, but I mean, Batwoman
is that they're forcing a minority group to be in every single thing, and I understand. They want to be represented. It's all cool and all, but it's like I mean, I need a bald person in every single show and movie. Represent bald people. Come on.
The funniest thing
I'm a minority, right?
Was what's her name? What's Scarlett Johansson? Scarlett Johansson. She's beautiful. She's beautiful. She is filming a new movie. James Blunt. Yeah, we need to get some effects. Get some like special effects. But Scarlett Johansson, she is she was gonna film a new movie. It's basically following a transvestite who runs a massage parlor.
So what do you call it? She, he.
No, I don't know what the 78 million terms are, but she was getting backlash because the people in the LGBTQ transvestite community,
LMNOP.
whatever, they were upset because they casted a natural born female woman as the transvestite.
So they want a legit transvestite to play the transvestite. They want a legit transvestite.
So it's like,
but like, how about when Robert Downey Jr. played the black guy who wasn't really a black guy?
I'm a dude. No, I'm a dude disguised as a dude playing another dude. What do you mean, you people?
What do you mean, you people?
So I mean, that was a great freaking movie. So low key.
Tropic Thunder. If you guys don't know what we're talking about.
For those who don't, Tropic Thunder.
Yeah.
You'd be surprised. I was talking with somebody the other day and they hated the movie. I was so upset. Nobody, taste of comedy's dying. But
voted for Clinton.
I wouldn't doubt it.
Yeah.
Trump is hilarious on multiple levels.
Yeah.
But Scarlett Johansson, she was getting outlash, and they were going after her to the point that they were like boycotting her productions and her movies and like calling agents and stuff. So she basically tweeted a very sensible tweet, and she said, if you have a problem, talk to the director or whatever. Like, I'm just doing my job.
Yeah.
But I don't understand. You should be happy that there's a mainstream, very successful, beautiful actress playing a transvestite woman.
Yeah.
It's acting. Like, you're just portraying somebody.
And that means that you are almost lifting up a certain what do you call them, a group that some people look down upon, and they're going to be portrayed as a beautiful actress. So I don't see anything wrong.
I'm sure there's dozens and hundreds of times in movie history
the bald
that
community is being represented well with Vin Diesel and The Rock, and who else can we think of?
The Rock is killing it.
Yeah.
George Costanza.
Come on,
what the fuck?
What George Costanza?
That's
I just
Seinfeld,
named
right?
Vin Diesel and The Rock. Give me someone
I was
like
not a Seinfeld guy.
the Diesel, Shaquille O'Neal, representing the bald community. Everyone on the TNT.
I was about to say, everybody on the TNT said it's freaking bald.
Everyone's bald.
Everybody's bald. But it's just outrage culture. I don't get it. Like, I'm sure men have played women in movies, women have played men in movies. Like, so
Mrs.
now
Doubtfire.
Yeah, so the only person that can play a transvestite is a transvestite.
Come on, man. I mean, come on, man. Come on, man.
On set, I mean, it doesn't make sense because they say transvestites are women just as much as natural-born women are women, right?
Or they can be men. Isn't that the whole point of transvestites?
Yeah, but let's say, okay, a man who converts into a woman, whether they do the procedure or not, they identify as a woman, right?
We have literally touched so many touchy topics.
So many, yeah. Episode 1,
this is great.
Lighting on fire.
If you ain't ready for it,
coming hot. Pew pew. What's the deal, motherfuckers?
Hot fire.
Because I spit hot fire.
Yeah, just start throwing plugs up, just straight plugs. I was gonna say start throwing plugs up the ass,
butt plugs.
But that could be
That's called
so
butt plug.
misinterpreted. Yeah, but it's so people in the trans community, if they convert into a woman or they identify as a woman, they think they're just as much of a woman as a natural born woman.
I
female.
identify myself as a millionaire.
Right.
Give me money.
So, I mean, the fact that Scarlett Johansson is playing a trans person in a movie should be the same as if a trans person was playing a trans person in a movie.
So Scarlett Johansson is the one playing the trans person?
She was casted as the main actress she was going to portray a trans person in a movie. So basically, she was going to portray a man.
You know what? I understand that because no one can believe that she's way too fine to be trans. You gotta have you can't have an 11 out of a 10, okay? Because she's an 11 out of 10.
You'd be surprised.
Maybe an 8.
Listen, with Jake, for those who don't know, Jake's her little stepbrother. We were eating shit the other day and like asking hypothetical questions and stuff. And there's some trans people who the surgeries are getting pretty legit. Like there's some trans women who are looking like legit women.
Yeah. Especially here in South Beach, you gotta look out there, fellas. You'll be dancing all night and live with somebody, and you get a handful of banana. So, I mean, this was a an interesting first episode. We covered a lot of topics. We're gonna cover a lot of different weird topics throughout the rest of the shows, and
I think it flowed pretty well. I mean, we had a huge outline and we touched on some of it, but it kind of flowed. Like there was some dialogue. We let it ride.
Kind of like it flowed like a menstrual cycle. But I'm gonna end you guys off with a little thought-provoking joke I saw on Reddit.
Oh, jeez.
All right,
here we go.
It's a quick
guys.
one. So, if you have a name for a toe ring as a toe ring, right? The ring you put on your toe is called a toe ring. So then wouldn't the ring you put on your finger be fingering? Come on, I mean, that kind of makes sense.
Okay.
Get it?
I like those punny jokes.
All right.
I like them.
Hashtag punny. But if you guys liked what you heard, please like and subscribe and comment and all that stuff you hear at the end of every episode that you skip because you're already done with the video. We're going to try to do this on a weekly basis. If anything, we'll go and we'll update it on our social media. You can find us at
We don't know yet.
We don't know yet. So we're gonna figure it out.
What's the deal? Listen, this is what's the deal. You're gonna find out what's the deal on Instagram, on YouTube. If somebody has it, we'll buy it for like $17. Hard offer.
I can pitch in maybe 50 cents.
Oh, for sure.
You guys are putting up
this
the
is
rest.
usually the part where we close off with our sponsors, but we don't have any, so we'll just talk about shit that we like for like 10, 15 seconds.
I like to sponsor these massive arms I have. Thank you. That's a Arnold Schwarzenegger impersonation I tried.
Come on.
Didn't work out.
Shout
out our sponsor Arnold Schwarzenegger for influencing us way too much.
Way too much.
Yeah.
But I think that's a wrap. I'm Joel.
I'm
Josh Ramos, producer Ilio Miguel, and that was The Deal.
What's the deal? We can't even say that name right. What's the deal?
But that was the deal. Like we start off, what's the deal, and now that was the deal. We can sound up. You just heard what's the deal.
You just heard what's the deal. Yeah. We're gonna work on this. Okay.
Yeah, we'll work on it.
Yeah.
All right. Peace out, mother.
Thanks for tuning in to What's the Deal? Hosted by Josh and Joel Ramos. Produced by Elio Miglio. Sponsors?
Possibly you.
And don't forget to subscribe to our channel to avoid getting hit with the FOMO. Fear of missing out. See you in the next episode.
Great deal. I think it's going to be a very big success.
Finish him.